All right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the MDL European qualifying coverage here. Our second series of the day. The winner of this out of Group A will move on to play Team Singularity, who's coming off the victory earlier today over Double Dimension. The loser will play Double Dimension in the loser bracket matchup there. So again, looking forward to see what happens. Ultimately trying to get out of Group A and advance onto that playoff stage. One spot on the line out of Europe here for the major that is MDL. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Henry once again. OG versus Team Moriarty here. Safe to say we got a favorite team in OG, but who knows with these open qualifier teams? Sometimes you just never know, right? So we'll see what they can bring to the table here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with any of these players, but I'm pretty interested to see what they bring to the table. I mean, we just had a big event in Romania, and I think 4 of these players out of 5 are Romanian. So shout out to Romanian Dota. I mean, that was a really awesome event in Bucharest. And I'm really curious to see if OG goes the Elder Titan route that they seem to have a big proclivity for at Bucharest itself.
Yeah.
I definitely think JRX plays one of the best ETs in the scene right now. And I'm really curious to see what direction they take there for this route with this draft. I mean, there's the Rubik, the ET, and the Earth Spirit that I think JRX is definitely more acclimated to. And that's really the big question for me, just in terms of what I want to see from OG right now.
Well, their first pick, they're actually spending some good time here. Already dipping into a bit of the reserve time. Fly deciding, and ultimately we'll go with the Elder Titan. There you go.
I'm really good with these first picks, Rick. I don't know what to say.
And then it's all downhill from there, so. But the first pick, though, yeah.
Not entirely.
Clockwork. Shadow Fiend? Ah, they are doing it. All right.
Nice.
It's not as strong anymore.
A little bit of a gimmick, but I do have to say Clockwork's super strong against ET because he has to, well, he just can't use the Stomp. While Trap Bite Clockwork, and generally I think as a 4, Clockwork moves ET pretty well. Any kind of hook shot into Cogs and then spamming the Q spell kind of renders Elder Titan mostly irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Shadow Fiend... Go ahead.
Trying to think of what kind of cores we could see come out here. I mean, they could easily grab a 5. Nothing major comes to mind, but Terrorblade's still in the pool if they really want to first phase it. Other than that, there's the Chen's Band. I can't really think of anything else major. Disruptor is still in the pool. They could easily go for Disruptor. I think it's pretty decent against Clockwork and Shadow Fiend.
Is it fair to say that like a Rubik is good? Yeah, I was going to say. Good against Clockwork.
Rubik's very, very good against Clock because you can toss him out of the walls. It's a pretty good counter pick. I never really think of... one team I saw running the Rubik ET a ton back in when it was open qualifier times about a month ago was Optic. And coincidentally, OG lost to Optic at Bucharest. But they would always run PPD as the 5 and on the ET and 33 as the 4 on Rubik. I don't think OG's the type of team to do that. I think they're almost certainly going to put Elder Titan on the 4, with JRX being just kind of one of the best at it, and Fly's most likely going to play a 5 Rubik. But it's super good against Clockwork, and generally, I mean, these 2 heroes have decent spells to steal, and Null Field's excellent against both of them. But mirroring a Clockwork with Rubik is pretty good because you can just toss him out if he traps anyone.
Mm-hmm. This is actually, I honestly didn't even notice this until chat started bringing it up, but Resolution's not here for OG. I assume that's just simply, for this circumstance. Let's not make this a bigger deal than it is. Effing Matt is, of course, standing in for it. He's done that from time to time. Even for, there was I think it was a Galaxy battle, actually. He stepped in for him. So
yeah, I think it was him and Kazu, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that crazy. Again, this is a qualifier matchup here in the first place, but worth mentioning at least.
Well, some people underrate 7 Matt, but he's actually a really impressive player. And I think he can play a lot of different heroes and a lot of different roles. And generally, I don't know if he excels on mid, but he's really good at mid for sure. So obviously they're going to be missing Resolution, but in a match like this, where it's the first round of a regional qualifier and they're kind of definitely coming in as the favorites, it shouldn't drastically impact anything too majorly.
No. I find that hard to believe. Resolution arguably one of the better players in the world, I think a lot of people would say, but at the same time, yeah, effing Matt, a great substitute, and I'm sure they'll be just fine. Wisp, Io, whatever you want to call it, for Moriarty in that 3rd spot.
Interesting. Beastmaster's still here. I mean, I think that's definitely one of the most prolific Wisp combinations right now. Used to see more Wisp playing around mid, but generally these days he's playing around the off lane quite a lot with the Beastmasters. Occasionally you'll see Axe or LC. More so, the Beastmaster I think is by far the most common. Occasionally Brewmaster.
Dire team pick.
So we could see one of those offlaners coming out here. I have to presume it's a 4 Clockwork, even though it's not the greatest 4 Clockwork game. I think an offlane Clockwork kind of would have a really struggle against these first 3 picks.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the strongest. So
remaining.
if that's the case, the Moriarty still looking for that offlane. You go back to the Beastmaster. We've seen EG specifically run that quite a bit.
Yeah.
With the IOBM combo.
Definitely seen a lot of the NA teams try and adapt and co-opt that Beastmaster. I think Optic Gaming was trying to run it. Complexity was trying to run it quite a bit because they both obviously have Zai and Z-Freak, plenty of Wisp players to go around. But I think EG was definitely... They're going to go with the LC after all.
Wow. This is not a popular hero nowadays. At all. Jeez.
I think there's just so much counterplay to LC.
Yeah.
And he's so difficult to play from behind. It's really stressful to play an LC from behind.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying not to feed dual damage. Trying not to... Well,
5 seconds remaining.
it's hard to itemize as well. Like if you go straight Blink BKB, very often you're working with low damage, especially if you're playing from behind or losing significantly. Blink Blade Mail, typically you're just going to get kited or they'll buy Yules. I mean, there's a lot of different workarounds for LC, and the hero's pretty entirely in the offlane role, predicated around winning his lane and playing aggressively from there and getting dual kills.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I see an LC, though, there's obviously a couple things. And one is his dual kills is good, but you're going up like against a Rubik, even an Elder Titan, I guess you could argue, is pretty good against that with the Stomp, so kind of slowing down that damage in the duel that's taking place. And then also LC, what he's bringing to the table with the Purge. It doesn't feel like it's a whole lot yet, right? It's just really against Viper.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, there's the sleep.
There's
you
a
can take off.
Team ban.
Rubik Lift, and there's the Terrorblade finally coming out. I actually want to say I really do like the Viper this game. It's great against SF, and I think it's really underrated against Wisp because if you accidentally knock him with the Orbs of Wisp, you'll proc the Viper Corrosive Skin, and then you can't earn yourself or bottle yourself, and that takes down a lot of your utility in terms of healing people. And then I think it's a natural 4-staff builder against Clockwork, so I generally think Viper's going to do... I like the pick quite a lot, and then the Terrorblade follow-up. Super high armor, pretty strong against LC. Also, great Hurricane Pike builder against Clockwork. I think Clockwork's going to have a generally really rough game past this 15-20 minute mark if Viper and Terrorblade both get their 4-staffs. And there's a Rubik as well to displace him.
Yeah. They banned the S4 puck. There's Moriarty here with their final ban, so figure it still need the S4 hero.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a puck in your Clockwork would struggle a lot to find a lane to roam. He wouldn't be able to kill puck because of the orb. Viper would be hard to kill because it's Viper, and then there's also the Rubik protecting the Terrorblade with the displacement. So I like that ban a lot. I think it's really smart.
We got the final ban for OG before they get into their final pick here, of course. What they want to go with.
OG's
There's a 100 and a snap pick into
Instant time.
Okay. So I'm wondering, is there potential that this is maybe a position 1 LC, or would that just be ridiculous?
I would not like it. Other than LC's overwhelming odds, they don't have anything that deals with Terrorblade. So they pick a super high armor melee carry that happens to be great against Tiny. So I think Monkey King was definitely one of the better picks they could work with there.
All right. Monkey King final pick. Yeah, pretty confident one that didn't spend too much time thinking about that here. And the other thing, though, too, with the Wisp, the IO pickup, usually you have that obvious tether target that he's with, whether it's a Tiny or an Ursa even. Who is he going to be looking to latch onto this game? Is it going to be the Monkey King?
I think he's going to almost certainly play in the offlane with LC, I would have to believe. I'm not sure if this is, I believe, a position 5 Wisp. Or maybe they're just diverting from their conventional roles for one game, but I mean, the Clockwork's definitely going to have a hard game if he doesn't start with Windlace or Boots, so I assume Wisp has to buy the support items. And generally, I would prefer he go with LC in the offlane and Monkey King left I don't want to say entirely 1v1 against Tiny. I don't know. I feel like you're going to have a lot of bouncing back and forth both between Clockwork and Wisp in this game because you have these lanes that are not very well off without the supports there, and you don't really have a traditional 5 that wants to play sort of static in a lane.
A lot of movement to come here for Moriarty's side, it feels like, especially. Looking for kills throughout the game, but again, you got the lineup on OG's side. It seems like it's just comfort across the board. It's specifically Terrorblade, of course, in the hands of No-Tail.
Yeah.
It's just a popular combo.
I think No-Tail, definitely in my opinion, I wouldn't say he's like the most mechanically skilled, but I do think he's the best Terrorblade role player in the game. I've never seen anyone to just be, say, level 5 and buy themselves a smoke and fly the smoke out to themselves as a Terrorblade and then run mid and gank the mid laner and take a tower with Metamorphosis more than I've seen him do stuff like that that just seems inconceivable to a pub player like myself.
So this goes back to the Shadow Fiend Clockwork combo and how it's, again, not as strong. Oh, they're only getting 2 each time. Don't you usually want to get 3? So, yeah, he's missing a couple right here. But again, it goes back. The nerf that happened to Shadow Fiend actually is kind of nerfed this idea. You can only get 12 max now. So, there you go. That was good. I got 3 there. So, one more time, and well, he's not going to be at 12, actually. So, a little bit cut.
OG knows that they're doing this,
yeah.
so OG's going to try and get at least 3, if not 4 bounty runes, which is definitely what you would like to do.
Okay, so he'll be settling for the 10 souls.
30 seconds
but yeah, as you pointed
battle.
out, OG, very aware of what's going on. I'm trying to take advantage.
Looks like they're changing the lanes for OG. They're just going to send No-Tail on the Rubik top and S4 to solo bottom. For now, at least. To sort of match up against that LC and presumably West. Who did buy the support items, but he's still going bottle, so he's pulled 460 plus the bounty runes. It's going to take about 100 extra.
Begins.
Yep, Radiant side. They're going to get 3 bounty runes here.
Yeah.
To the 1 with Moriarty. Io, he's setting up to get the bottle ASAP. Just got some tangos early on. But 500 gold saved up, so going to try to get that as soon as possible. For now, he's sitting with the Shadow Fiend, who did end up getting the 12 souls, as we see right there. So, Illusionist, the one player that you mentioned you maybe recognize from pubs a little bit on this squad. He's in that position 4 and going at it with Jerax on the other Titan. Don't think that's a battle Clockwork's going to win. Going to force him out right there with the Astral Spirit buff damage. So Viper versus Shadow Fiend, though, you know, Viper's always kind of a win your lane type hero. Any reason to believe different here?
I think it really comes down to any small mistakes. I think generally you're starting with 12 souls, so it evens it out a little bit, and Shadow Fiend with the raise changes recently. Not so recently, but it has some benefits. I think generally, though, it is a Viper-sided matchup, particularly with the ET, who's going to keep giving himself a lot of damage and try and deny as much CS until Shadow Fiend's level 3, and then he'll probably sort of change up his approach to helping the Viper.
Top lane, Monkey King actually got very low right there. Got the Metamorphosis to be activated and got him to about 10% life or so, but again, the tether, although he wasn't really healing him, just the bonus move speed alone was keeping Monkey King alive. Allowed him to get out there, but that's going to be interesting to watch at the top lane. And going Metamorphosis will be going down here soon. Obviously, a pretty massive cooldown in itself. But the middle lane matchup, Viper 5-1 right now. You got Shadow Fiend at 4 creep kills. That's the important mark. Oh, top lane. Nope, just farming the jungle. Sitting around for the 2-minute rune. Looks like, and Fly's actually in trouble. Yeah, going to lift up Clockwork, though, pushes him away. That might be the difference maker. If it wasn't for that, he's probably dead. So, well played. Manages to avoid death right there. And Terrorblade's rotated bottom.
Out. Yeah.
Makes sense?
Maybe they thought... I mean, they knew the lanes were going to be this way, so I assume they just realized Monkey King was probably actually harder for Terrorblade than the LC, maybe underrating Monkey King at the start.
Double damage rune currently on Shadow Fiend. Using that to his benefit. Try to get some last hits in here some more. As you see Elder Titan, though, somewhat wrapping around. Has the Echo Stomp ready. We'll see if he finds his angle. I mean, Shadow Fiend's pushing up pretty far right now. Yeah, he's in some trouble now. Did he go too far is the question. The Echo Stomp's going to miss, so perhaps not. Although
He's
Jarex
still
is going to hit pretty
confused,
hard himself. Yeah, they're going to run him down. Even the Fade Bolt coming out, and Mad will indeed pick up the first blood. So Shadow Fiend, again, a little too comfortable going up.
So I'm really curious to see what kind of build Viper goes this game. I could easily see something like a Hood 4-staff working really well for him into maybe a Hurricane Pike. After whatever his boots of choice are, which I assume are brown boots or shreds. I think are the only two boots. So I would like to see a Hood 4-staff, maybe even just a straight up 4-staff rush against Clockwork. And I think just generally having the 4-staff, it's going to be really hard for Monkey King, Clockwork, and Shadow Fiend to kill you very early on. And the 4-staff's going to buy you a lot of time to play very safely.
Yeah. Top lane, S4, he's level 4 already. You see level 3 on Monkey King, so they kind of push him out a little bit in that 2 versus 1. But meanwhile, middle lane, Fly, he is setting up here in the middle. It's like Shadow Fiend knows something's coming up. Fly is going to lift him into the Echo Stomp combo. Nope, he canceled it. A little bit too early right there. And Mad, he'll just walk away. So you see an idea of that combo, at least, of the Rubik Elder Titan.
Yeah, I think they just called the back all. I'm not exactly sure what the call was. Maybe that Clockwork was going to come.
Yeah. Not worth it at that point. Meanwhile, bottom rune. It's going to be fought for, and Fly's going to try to get away now as Isle's here with the Clockwork. Battery assault in 7 seconds. It's a little bit too long.
Are too long.
Cannot chase. Meanwhile, LC's doing a hell of a job. He's 24-3 right now. He's top of the charts. So Dire Side does have that going for them. And LC, is there any reason to believe, is this going to be just the ASAP Blink Dagger game, or different?
I have to believe he goes a couple of build-up items, like obviously the phase boots, he has the wand skewed up. And then I have to believe he goes something like Blink next. I can't imagine he goes anything like Armlet or Blade Mail first. It just seems unreasonable. I think he really needs to get good Blink kills and play aggressively in ahead, and most importantly, try and find opportunities to rotate with the Wisp and the Relocate into lanes where Shadow Fiend and Monkey King are already coexisting with other people.
Well, Viper currently, again, doing very well in the middle lane, 24-2 right now. 4 more creep kills currently than Shadow Fiend. You see Clockwork sitting nearby, but can't really catch up to him as bottom lane. LC, speaking of those phase bits, running after Fly, but again, Fly a little bit too evasive. They want to go on to LC, though. The phase bits Metamorphosis.
Really scary for anyone.
They're going to go for the meta form, go for the kill as a result. Another illusion popped, and one more attack should do it. Yep. Gets it off.
Yeah.
That was just simply terribly. Not even needed.
Reflection not even needed. Oh, it's Frog. Nice thing is he has catapults, so he can choose to push this. I don't think LC will allow it. He'll probably come back and clear this out, but he could try and pressure with the rest of the meta and the catapult that he has. It's perfectly possible to do some building damage. There's a DD rune bottom.
Oh, Mad's charging in, but here comes Clockwork now, so it's a bait play, but Shadow Fiend's still going to die. And the Elder Titan was there to cut off just in case, and now Illusionist is in a little bit of a scary spot himself. And so you can see Shadow Fiend was playing aggressive on purpose, but he kind of underestimated the damage could put out.
Yeah, I mean, people really, I think, it's not the most recent change, but I think people just generally still calculate Viper's orb. The fact that it does damage based on HP missing means the more and more you trade with a Viper, the worse and worse it's going to get.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Doesn't even have his W yet, but not needed there. Another Toxin. Jarex runs right into Clockwork. Clockwork going to get a kill as a result. So well played by Illusionist, being patient on the uphill. He's going to TP out now, realizing not much else he can do against Viper. So good getaway. Legion Commander. Duel is ready. Rotating over. Oh, he's going to find Rubik. Does he get this kill? The lift, pushback. Phase boots in 3. LC's not going to chase. A little too scary for him, so decides to fall back, head back towards the bottom lane. And yeah, he went the phase boots first, but it looks like he does have the blink now queued up, actually.
Yeah.
Try to get that as soon as possible. As Monkey King top lane, his own phase boots. So he's going Ring of Acula. Is this a Battle Fury type game, you think? Is that potential, or he's in trouble, by the way? The Echo Stomp connects? No.
I think it's possible. I could easily see Battle Fury or something more along the S&Y or Echo Saber lines. I think it really just depends on what he chooses to do in terms of what direction the game starts going.
Oh, middle lane. Shadowfiend goes down.
Dire's top
Man
tower
runs
is
at
under
him.
With the
attack.
lift. He swapped the null field too, if you're just hitting 4. And Viper is going the straight Brown Boots 4-staff, which is the build I'm very, very glad that he's going. So
Bottom lane. Metamorphosis once again. Saberlight's going to go for the TP out, and it's not in time. Fly actually did not have mana for the lift, so I thought he might have been successful, but just too much damage to actually escape right there. So interesting sequence of events. It was a great save initially from the IO to keep Monkey King alive at the top lane, and then they got the turn kill on a Elder Titan, but then they lose 3 heroes in succession after that. And now you have a 6-2 lead for OG, so just when you had a little bit of a good news for Moriarty, not so much.
Yeah,
Just
No
looking
Tail's
good.
going to pressure the tower.
Dire's
No Aquila,
structures
interestingly
are
enough, yet,
fortified.
but he did rush raindrops
Dire's
against LC,
bottom
which is
tower
super,
is under
super useful
attack.
against the overwhelming odds. Especially when you're an illusion hero, but generally that's a lot of damage.
You see this ward right here spotting both supports in the area. So the Dire team trying to react to it, but
Dire's
not going to happen.
bottom
And
tower
meanwhile,
has
distraction's good enough to allow Big Daddy No Tail to push that bottom lane with the Metamorphosis still up. So easy tower kill. Switch over to Net Worth. No surprise, he's on top of the charts.
It seems like Clockwork's really struggling to accomplish much. I generally have this belief that I think if you're going to run it for Clockwork, it has to be
Radiant
second phase,
are
particularly, but like
scanning.
third pick, as opposed to first pick. I just think it's so easy to pick heroes that are difficult for him to approach.
Yeah. They clearly got stuck in the mentality of the Clockwork Shadowfiend combo, right? I mean, they snap-picked it. They like that idea, so it's not even necessarily the Clockwork hero specifically. It's more for that combo, but the thing with that is you're kind of all in the basket of then Shadowfiend better have a great start. He's
He did
been
not.
doing meh. Not so good. So that's the biggest thing when you look back at the draft there. But, I mean, there's still plenty of game left. In fact, speaking of Clockwork, he is going to grab the 10-minute bounty rune at least as they try to stop
Dire's
him.
middle
But
tower is under
he
attack.
gets it. But, yeah, top 3 net worth farm of the game, all belonging on the side of OG at this point.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what build No Tail goes. I'm more curious. Typically, we'll see drums, Yasha, or Dragonlance. More often than not, I think the Dragonlance are the first item. Almost always for the Terrorblade. I'm expecting a Dragonlance
Dire's
here for
middle
him
tower is under
into a Hurricane
attack.
Pike. That's almost definitely what I would go against this lineup. But I could easily be wrong. I don't think we're going to see anything like the drums. It's almost certainly a Dragonlance or Yasha.
Dire's
Well,
middle
Rubik's
tower
enjoying some
is
free
under
farm bottom
attack.
lane. Meanwhile, as I say that, duel. Oh, again, the lift. This is let's talk about. Rubik's just so good against LC. For that reason right there. Lifts him away, and he's fine. S4, meanwhile, he finds a free kill on a flash, it looks like. It gets the kill. Will it come at a cost? Is the question. Illusionist, Battery Assault on top of him. Cox trapping him in. Now Shadowfiend's here, throwing out a couple raises. Will secure it. And at least they get the turn on a Tiny, so some positive there for Moriarty once again. Catching him a little bit too far up. He is working on that blink, though. He has 1,500 gold. I mean, S4 is doing just fine when it comes to his progress.
Radiant's top tower
So
is
yeah,
under
if you're
attack.
Monkey King now, especially knowing the pace of this game, even if you're thinking of a Battle Fury, it seems like that might be a
Yeah.
little too risky now, right?
I would not go for Battle Fury here. I'm kind of curious to see what he decides. I'm expecting something like an S&Y here. I think Echo Saber's also alright. Those are pretty much the only 2 items that come to mind. I think he definitely needs stats, whichever direction he goes in, particularly HP
Radiant's
pool.
middle tower
And those
is
are the
under
two best items that
attack.
come to mind for that.
Yeah. Top lane. You have Viper now up here. So Viper finally going away from the middle lane. It's 2-0-1. We haven't seen a duel just yet. Legion Commander might be trying for it right here. There's a duel. Elder Titan, though, with the stomp. Stomps both of them. Obviously going to stop the duel victory now. Man trying to set up a turn. Kill himself on top of the Earth Splitter. Not going to be enough damage. Yes, it will. LC goes down. They do lose both. But at least they took the LC with them. And no duel victory.
Yeah, that's a 4-man rotation though. No Tail's just going to shove in mid. And he did go the Dragonlance.
Radiant's top
Curious
tower
to see if he
is
goes
under attack.
Manta. S4.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
they
is
did.
under attack.
Clockwork just ran right into them, unfortunately, for his sake. And now Monkey King trying to get the kill on Rubik will successfully do so, despite the Fade Bolt. Good job by them there again. But as you're talking about, I mean, Terrorblade is just freely farming elsewhere. You see that net worth starting to really grow for him.
Dire's
62.
Yeah, and you
middle
can
tower
see
is
almost
under
like
attack.
the pool. Like, they're not able to actually get anything with those kills top because they all have to run back middle after keeping top to stop Terrorblade from getting a free tower or the creeps he shoved in from doing a ton of building
Dire's top
damage.
tower is
And
under
so
attack.
they actually end up wasting a lot of time
Dire's
and it almost hurts them in a
structures
way.
are fortified.
Yeah.
And in the end, now that they've ran mid for Terrorblade, they're getting pulled around again. They have to choose if they want to come top again to fight S4, who's pressuring this lane.
Yeah.
And if they come top, then Terrorblade's going to shove in bottom
Dire's
as he's
top
doing
tower
now. So
is under attack.
it's one of those things that's actually really rough. He's
Isles,
actually having his illusion shove in bot while he takes top.
yeah, he's ready to fight up here. You're right. In fact, the whole team at S4 has that Blink Dagger. Finds Isle, just as I was to talk about him. He's not at level 6 yet. Gets caught right there before so yeah, no porting elsewhere with the relocate. As Monkey King going to just jump into the trees for now and try to jump away. Looks like he'll be successful with that, but that should be a top tier 1 now, especially with Terrorblade being there. You talk about the illusion. He's even going middle a little bit, so heard Clockwork. Oh yeah, they catch Fly. I mean, they should get this, right? There's no way they're not getting this. He swaps to defensive Nullfield. Not going to matter. Too much damage. Look at that Death Summary. It's pretty cool, man. Okay, I'm going to have some fun with that. You should get it. Dota Plus, man.
I will.
Future.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
All right, so Rubik's dead, but again, it kind of goes back to what you were saying before. Even Moriarty, they're spending a lot of resources to get a lot of these rotations just to get simply a Rubik kill. How worth it is it? Elder Titan? Well, okay, get him as well. This is going to be the first duel victory. There you go. Get on the board now. LC is going to have to be a threat to respect. The more duel victories he gets, of course. Battle Fury is coming along for Monkey King, by the way, so he says, you know what? It's still worth it.
Okay.
That's your response. Just, okay, yeah. You're wrong, but okay.
I honestly don't think he's wrong. I'm definitely not an expert on Monkey King or the carry role. I just feel like it's interesting to me that you see someone like Shadow Fiend going Dragonlance, Aquila, Wand, Drums, and you see someone like Monkey King who's essentially trying to invest in a future that the team is not looking to play around.
Dire are scanning.
I think I would much rather see Monkey King try and itemize around hitting a timing that with SF getting all of his stat items and LC now having the blink. I'd like to see maybe them up the ante and maybe get some aggression going, which his item build is not very conducive towards.
Yeah.
But they might do anyways.
Oh, LC jumping in. Had a duel to not get it off right there. Relocated as well with the Monkey King. They're going to catch Rubik. Everything being used on him. It felt like right there, including the hook shot. So they did get another duel victory. And again, it's as long as they're getting duel victories in these rotations, you could say it's fairly worth it for Moriarty. And they'll smoke around as well, but back to the bottom lane. Shadow Fiend hanging around a little bit too long. Earth Splitter set up on top. That should be an easy kill. With all of a sudden 4 heroes showing up for OG. So they're like, yeah, that was our captain, assholes. We liked it. We're gonna kill
One thing
you.
I noticed, and I feel like this is intentional, is after relocate is used, they send all 5, or well, at the moment 4, because Rubik wasn't there, heroes to group up after relocate's used. They get a pick off, and then they just go straight for buildings. And there's not really going to be any likely building trade for Moriarty. And there's no real play you can make without relocate and duel.
That's going to be a tier 2 tower kill. As mentioned, top lane flies up here, and so is S4. Tosses up the Monkey King, gets the avalanche after the fact. And come with a stolen Boundless Strike, actually, but Isles there for the save initially. Fly, he's going to go down and return the hook shot as well. From Clockwork, no, that actually wasn't. He just ran up with the cogs even. S4 looking to go back in with his combo. Again, not enough damage. Actually, he got away with the tree, jumped into the trees. They do pick off Io, but now Viper's here as well with the Terror Blade. Monkey King standing his ground, pops the Wukong's command. Not enough, though he dies shortly after. Meanwhile, Clockwork will TP away to safety and survive, but LC, maybe not the same story. Elder Titan's even here as well. And yeah, that will be a kill on him. The Sunder even coming out from Terrorblade there. That's I heard it, I thought. Anyways.
Yeah, it was used. It just didn't. They were almost equivalent HP.
But yeah, that looked good for Moriarty initially, with the Monkey King standing his ground, but not so much. The OG seems ready to react.
Once Tiny showed up and Terrorblade showed up, it was really rough. You just don't have the damage. When Monkey King's 2 HP, he can't really get a good Wukong's command off. And LC didn't get a duel off and really couldn't. There was no Clockwork, Hook Shot, or anything of the sort.
Yeah, Tiny pushing out middle lane. Shadow Blade is almost finished on him now. So he got the blink. We've seen the impact of that. He's 5-1-3 in this game, actually. So S4, it's safe to say he's done plenty. And the Manta style, though, for Terrorblade, that's, of course, a key item, as it usually is, to go with the Dragon Lance.
It's actually pretty incredible how farmed S4 is. I think it comes down to really, really good mirroring from Jerax. It seems whenever the pressure was top on S4, Jerax was there. Whenever it was mid on 7 Mad, Jerax was there. And both of his cores have gotten a lot of farm.
Yeah.
Particularly S4 because of that. He has Blink. He was going to go Shadow Blade, but he actually went to Echo Saber.
Oh, Tiny. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The Echo Saber. Interesting. Pick that up in full instead. Okay, well, but so I guess what's the idea there? Obviously, Shadow Blade maybe just more of initiation, but Echo Saber's more of that hard
Echo
hitting.
Saber's, yeah, it's damage, and most importantly, it's damage over a short period of time. So typically, you'll go S and Y if you're looking to kill people over 10 seconds, and Echo Saber over 2.
Yeah, nice kill at the top lane. By the way, I wasn't sure the victory was going to happen, but it indeed does. And now Other Titan's also in some trouble. Got caught initially by Illusionist. He's running him down, Battery Assault. Cannot stay in range. Now Clockwork may be overstepping his boundaries a little bit. I believe so. He's going to most likely die in return. Earns put up on him. He's keeping them distracted, though. I'll say that. In fact, another Cogs. He's going to go for the TP play, and it's going to be done. No, he dies as he goes back to base. So close yet so far. Now Jerax, great stop on a Monkey King as he was trying to find him still. And he'll end up falling with the Monkey King. Io's just sitting off to the side like, what do I do? As S4 gets picked off elsewhere. That was at the top lane. There's another skirmish going on up here. Legion Commander reporting back to base, but meanwhile Terrorblade goes into Roshan. That was a little bit sloppy almost. Several different fights going on.
So this is generally the thesis of this game, is that they're making decent trades and plays actually for Moriarty. But every time it's like 2 for 3 or 1 for 2, and then the objective goes OG's way. And eventually they're going to run out of things to trade. OG still has all of their tier 1s up, and they're about to take Roche. I don't think Clockwork's going to get anywhere near there in terms of stealing the Aegis.
There we go. Going to be picked up. LC tries to maybe steal the Roshan, if anything, but that's not going to work.
This will do nicely.
Did he overstep, though? He does have a Blade Mail, by the way, on LC, but no, they're not going to catch him. And he'll indeed be fine. So Terrorblade picks up the Aegis. Another 1,400 gold already saved up. I mean, Nocho just continues to accelerate, but you're right. Look at Tiny. He's 8,200 now. We're second in the game. He really is having a successful game farming here. This time as well. And then Viper shortly after that, or not far behind after that, I should say.
Dire are scanning.
The Hurricane Pike finished. So on the other side, it's really Shadow Fiend looking pretty good. Is going for the first item, Hurricane Pike, which maybe is necessary, but you know, how powerful is that going to be? Oh, by the way, top lane hookshot attempt.
Yeah.
Completely whiffed right there. He guessed the wrong way. And now Radiant's ready to catch them.
Hurricane Pike's generally really good against every hero in the enemy team. It's good against Reflection, good against against Terrorblade. They have a hard time gap closing, but it doesn't really matter if you can survive if you can't actually kill.
Radiant structure.
I'm also looking at this Monkey King and the Battle Fury finish now for a little bit, obviously, and pushing the tier 1 bottom tower, but you see he's still kind of in the middle of the pack with that net worth. Really needs that Battle Fury to pay off as the game goes on here. Middle lane, though. Illusionist, he tried to dodge the Echo Stomp. They don't see him, though. Okay, so he actually avoided the sight, at least. And thus he's fine for now. In fact, he's going in for a flank. He's just being a bit of a distraction here. Going to end up costing him his life in the end, but I guess he's just trying to delay them. Not going to be enough, though. That'll be a tier 2 tower kill. He did have teammates pushing bottom lane in Io and Monkey King.
They have Ags Metamorphosis. They could go high ground if they want. They even have a ward in the base so they can see exactly what angle
the toss into LC, the Blade Mail. It's
relocate.
Yeah, the relocate did save him, actually. A glimpse right there. That was so close. They're going to be sent back, of course, soon. Or Io is in a couple seconds. Comes back in, tethers away. So yeah, great relocate save, actually. Still going to lose the tier 3 tower as Shadow Fiend, now Noto's focusing him. Turning his attention back to the racks. Oh, the hook shot again missed right here from Illusionist. In the backlands kind of through the uprights. through both of them as Shadowfiend will get exploded. He jumps in, LC jumps in as well. The Blade Mail's doing some return damage. It's keeping it alive for the time being. Wukong's man off to the side. Earth Splitter in the midst of it, though. They take out LC. They get the kill on pretty much everyone. Let's make a Monkey King as well. All they lose is the other Titan. Big Daddy no till he centers his teammate. GG's are called. OG will take game number 1. From Moriarty. All right, well, that was kind of a sudden finish.
Yeah.
Don't know if I saw it happening that quickly, but it did. That fight obviously too strong from OG's side.
Yeah, I felt pretty underwhelmed by the support duo on Moriarty, the Clockwork Wisp, particularly the Clockwork. No fault of the player. I just think that when you first pick Clockwork, it ends up in this situation where they get a support that's really good against you, like Rubik, and then there's too many cores to ban out that are good against you, and he had a hard time making things happen. And generally, I think Moriarty was always playing on the back foot, which against the Terrorblade, you couldn't really do much.
Yeah. Moriarty definitely has a work cut out for them. We knew that going into the series, but in the first game, it showed glimpses of some positive life there. But in the end, the Open Qualifier team losing the first game there, and OG just feeling pretty comfortable across the board. As you're suggesting, maybe a little bit of a draft issue, focusing a little bit too much on the whole Clockwork Shadowfiend synergy. It's a combo that has been nerfed more recently, and again, you're facing a very experienced team and captain and Fly, of course, who's comfortable dealing with it. So something to think about going into game number 2 now. We'll see kind of adjustments they do make. But OG, again, a comfortable victory, up 1-0 here in this best out of 3. So once again, I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Henry. Guys, you're tuning into the MDL European coverage, qualifying action from Group A. Stay tuned. Game number 2 coming up next.